It's time for week 4 now of the GLCC going up against Arch, and I'm super duper excited to play Arch as they are an IRL friend of mine and have been since the 4th grade, and I'm now in college, so we've known each other for a very long time, a real lifelong friend, and I'm happy to have them here in the league with us, trying out some of the draft format, as they are primarily a singles player, just like on the ladder, rather than a draft player, but they've translated over quite well so far using their mono bug team, and they are actually 2-1 on the season. So we have the same record. One of us is gonna get put to an even record, 2-2, by the end of today, and then one of us is going to be elevated to 3-1, and I'm hoping that that's gonna be me. Unfortunately though, there are some real problems that we have to deal with on Arch's team. As you see to the right here, we have Ribombee outspeeds my entire team and threatens it with that super effective Moonblast. We have Cleavor, which commonly runs Scarf or Band or something like that, and can absolutely shut down Gouging Fire, which is, spoiler alert if you couldn't guess, gonna be my main win condition against the bug team. We even have that tera Yanmega. What are my switch-ins, right? What are my switch-ins to? Tera Ground, Tera Blast, Air Slash, Bug Buzz, Throat Spray Yanmega, or something like that, right? That set can absolutely ruin me, and with Speed Boost, there's no point in even trying to like out-scarf it or something like that too. So it's definitely gonna be a very rough one if we let that Yanmega get out of hand. So we'll see how it ends up going. Of course, we do have some preparations on our part to deal with all of these big threats. And so let's get into discussing them right about now. So first off, by the way, this team was primarily built initially by Sirbloo, the guy that absolutely thrashed me during week number 2 with the Mono Ice team. And so huge shout outs to him for helping me team build here. I ended up changing a fair bit of the sets after I made my own team and sort of compared the two. But a lot of his sets, as you see when you scroll down, are gonna be really cool. And so definitely gotta give some credit where credit is due. That guy can absolutely cook in the team builder. And so thank you again to Sirbloo for helping me prep for this match. And also thanks to everyone who did mocks with me. Ended up doing a lot of mocks for this because I wasn't too comfortable with the team for quite some time, and I just wanted to flesh out some of the shortcomings in my original builds and things like that. So thank you to everyone that did mocks with me as well. They'll all be in the description as well. That's where I usually put everyone that I did mocks with or helped me in any fashion for the week. And so anyways, without any further ado, we'll get into it. In the first slot, we have lead sacrificial Archaludon with Sturdy, and you know we had to bring Archaludon to the Arch matchup. Arch versus Arch, isn't that funny? But as you can see here, Stealth Rocks, Roar, Meteor Beam, and Flash Cannon, and we are going to be a Power Herb set so that Meteor Beam can immediately proc in one turn and give us that raise in our special attack and hopefully just claim a kill off lead. And so essentially, depending on what gets sent in, if we see Ribombee to do like Sash, Sticky Webs shenanigans, then we're just gonna Flash Cannon it or maybe Meteor Beam it. If we see anything else, then we'll see if we end up Stealth Rocking or Meteor Beaming. We're probably gonna be Meteor Beaming if it's anything like super duper offensive, and if it's a more defensive Pokemon, like if say the Araquanid comes in, or say the Vespiquen, which I don't think will come, comes in first, then we'll probably go ahead and just click Rocks first and get those up, because obviously Rocks are going to be really nice for us in this matchup. After lead Archaludon, we have our Wincon, Gouging Fire, holding that Chardy Berry so that we don't get absolutely destroyed by a Stone Axe from Cleavor, and we can actually set up a Dragon Dance in its face and go ahead and outspeed it and go for the win. And so that's the idea here with the Chardy Berry. We have Stone Edge to hit Araquanid and Heat Crash to hit absolutely everything else for some massive damage. And then Burning Bulwark, I decided to put this over Morning Sun just because I felt like, you know, if I'm sweeping with this thing, then I shouldn't really need to worry about healing up anyways, as I should pretty much outspeed everything. And so I'd rather just have the Bulwark move in case of first impression from things like Low Kick, Slither Wing, anything like that. So that's going to be a pretty standard sweeping Gouging Fire set here. Next up we have Cyclizar, Valkyrie here, and obviously with 2 Sticky Web setters, or no, am I stupid? Oh yeah, Vikavolt also gets Sticky Webs, doesn't it? So anyways, tons and tons of hazard potential for our opposition here, and obviously we only have one form of removal, and it's gonna be this Cyclizar. If like Vespiquen comes and it's Ghost, then we don't really deal with it too well, and if it starts setting up like spikes, T-spikes, stuff like that, then we're really gonna be struggling. And if it's Tera Ghost and Cyclizar can't Rapid Spin, then that's also gonna be bad news. But yeah, this guy's really just here to do one job, which is keep hazards off the field. If it's like just one layer of rocks from Stone Axe, then I can probably deal with that. But if it's toxic spikes, if it's sticky webs, if it's like multiple layers of regular spikes, then those hazards have got to go. Those hazards have got to go, because if sticky webs are up, then Gouging Fire needs 2 Dragon Dances to win, and I don't think I can really afford the time to have 2 Dragon Dances ever in this matchup. And so we're going to have to Rapid Spin with this guy to get rid of those hazards. We have Temper Flare for some general damage, Quick Attack just to hit some of the things like hit any potential Scarfers, as well as to chip down the Yanmega after it gets to an absurdly high speed. And yeah, it's just a decent move into this team. And then we also have Crunch, just in case we do end up facing that Tera Ghost Vespiquen that comes in and tries to spin block for itself. Then Crunch is actually going to be doing some decent damage to that. And so that's going to be our Cyclizar moveset here. Next up, we have Fenrir, the Latios, with a Tonga Berry. Tonga Berry, of course, lets us live one super effective bug type hit, and we are going to try and use this as a sort of backup Yanmega check, right? It can also check a variety of other things if they get out of hand that just want to click bug moves into the whole team. But Draco Meteor should pretty much kill a Yanmega. Obviously it can't hit us with ground moves because of Levitate, and it should be very tempted to click a bug move into us since we're Psychic type, and obviously we cannot Tera. So that's the idea there, is we can live one and just drop a Draco on its head, and then the Yanmega will be out of the game. We have Thunderbolt as well to do some general damage to the Araquanid, which I'm going to assume is coming to sort of stop the Gouging Fire. Obviously Draco does more, but then I lower my special attack, so I just have Thunderbolt in case. And then also Luster Purge to hit things like Slitherwing. If they're Scarf and they click a bug move, then I actually do live one because of my berry. So hopefully I don't end up having to use the berry on Yanmega if I have to. I do have a backup check, which I'm not going to scroll down and reveal because that set is pretty cool. I'm going to make you wait for that one. But yeah, there's a variety of things that can be checked by this Tonga Berry Latios. And it's just really up to how the game unfolds to see what we end up doing with it. And of course we do also have Protect to stop first impression. Next up we have Jackal, the Flygon, holding a Choice Scarf this time with Dragon Tail, Dual Wing Beat, Rock Slide, and Stealth Rock. This is a backup Stealth Rocker. I don't know if we're going to necessarily need to click Stealth Rocks. Obviously if Arch gets up its own rocks, then we shouldn't need to, unless Scizor decides to like defog them away, something like that. Then we do have Dragon Tail to prevent setup, Dual Wing Beat is here in case like we want to get rid of like a potential Sash Mon. Like if they lead Sash Ribombee, which is something that Arch has shown that they're very, very inclined to do. I think every week up until now they've led with Sash Ribombee and click Sticky Webs, if I'm not mistaken. So if that happens, then Dual Wing Beat obviously is going to kill through Sash since it hits twice. And so we can actually maybe lead this guy if we want to be super ballsy. But I don't think I'm going to do that. But anyways, Dual Wing Beat is decent coverage into the team, of course. And then we do also have Rock Slide. These inaccurate moves are a little bit scary, I will say. They're a little bit scary, and so I'm hoping that Flygon can hit all of them. I had some really good luck hitting them in the mock battles that I did before this, and so I'm hoping that that continues and I didn't just waste my luck, as that would be really, really tragic if we need one to win and we end up not hitting it. So, lastly, what's this last guy on the team? Why have I hyped him up? This is another Sirbloo certified, central modified sort of set here. It's the Appleton. You knew it had to be. There was really no reason for like things like Roaring Moon, Raging Bolt to come, even Dragalge, right? Dragalge, once it terastallizes to Steel, is just going to be another victim to Tera Ground Yanmega, and it really had no place on this team. However, this Appleton set definitely has a place on the team. As you can see, we are Ripen with a Moringa Berry. The Moringa Berry allows us to raise our special defense, and Ripen allows us to raise it twice in one turn, which is pretty interesting. We also have Reflect to help up against those physical attackers. I'm assuming most of their team that's coming is going to be physical. And then, of course, we have Recover and Apple Acid, kind of a given. And lastly, Rollout. We have Rollout. Obviously, against a team of bugs, Rollout can go really, really huge, especially if they bring things like the Volcarona, which I don't think is coming, but I guess there's always a chance for Volcarona. And things like that, right? I mean, it's a bug team. They're generally pretty frail, and Rollout is absolutely crazy if you cannot stop it in its early moves. And so I'm hoping that this set can go kind of nuclear and claim, I don't know, at least 2 kills if it gets in position, right? Initially, we did have Defense Curl instead of Reflect, but I decided to actually take this off and put up a Reflect instead for 2 reasons. One was I didn't really feel that Defense Curl was going to be super necessary for Rollout, even though it does boost the power of Rollout, Defense Curl that is. I decided that the Reflect was a little bit better. Secondly, this was initially actually a Keyberry set, so it would have raised my regular defense instead of my special defense, and that didn't actually end up stopping the Yanmega, which is really what this guy's here to do, right? Is I can Tera Bug, I'll always eat 1 hit, regardless of if it's boosted by Throat Spray or something like that. And then I will simply recover after getting my boosts, and then try and Apple Acid and roll out the rest of the team. That's sort of the idea with this set. So hopefully this does work. Hopefully Gouging Fire does work. Hopefully Flygon hits its moves. There's a lot of things that have to go right, and we'll see how everything unfolds. I'm very, very nervous. This matchup feels like an absolute coin flip. It depends on if they brought the right or wrong sets, if I brought the right or wrong sets, if I can hit my moves, and like whoever gets set up first is probably gonna end up taking the cake. Once again though, good luck to Arch. It means a lot to me, Arch, that you are in the GLCC and giving the draft format an official try, even though we have done some of those little leagues in the past. But yeah, means a lot that you're here, and thank you. So good luck, have fun to you. I will see, going back to the viewers, talking to the viewers, I will see you guys in the battle. Okay, here we are. Week 4 of the GLCC up against the one and only Arch and their bugs. I'm incredibly nervous. This was very difficult to prep for. I ended up doing several more mocks than I usually do, and had a lot of time put into this cooking. So gotta lock in. I've even gone as far as to chug a extra 125 milligrams of caffeine. So hopefully that helps me lock in, if nothing else. If not, then I'm never drinking caffeine again, and I should probably still never drink caffeine again because I'm not used to it. But here we are. Here we are. So yeah, looking forward to this game against Arch. It's gonna be a close one either way, I think. But yeah, the matchup just feels like such a coin flip. You never know. It's hard to tell who's gonna come out here. Let's see. We do have the Araquanid coming, which is interesting, as well as the Slitherwing. And so the Slitherwing is something that I'm worried I'm a little bit under prepared for, right? I was expecting Scizor just to have a nice Dragon Resist and a Defog, but maybe Kleavor's Defog and defensive, though I think the offensive Kleavor really looks good into my team, so I'm not too sure. Either way, I'm just going to lead Archaludon here. Actually, how much does it do, Archaludon's Meteor Beam? How much does that do to an Araquanid? Let's find out. It looks like, I'm not sure if the Meteor Beam attack raise calculation, or rather special attack raise, is gonna appear automatically in the calculator. It doesn't seem like there's any indicator as to whether or not it does, but assuming it does not, and I put myself at +1, we actually have a really nice roll to kill here. Looks like an 81% chance to kill a max HP, no SPDF Araquanid, and I'm assuming that's what's going to be led off with here. So let's just go ahead and select Archaludon. It looks like Arch is still going to be thinking this over. It is quite a difficult matchup, so I cannot blame them too much for taking their time. I will probably be taking tons and tons of time throughout this battle, so we'll see how things go. And it looks like we instead are going to be leading low kicks. So the thing with low kicks here is that it can knock off my power herb if I'm not careful, right? There is a decent chance that they do just switch out because they don't want to deal with me being sturdy or anything like that. And so I think I do still always click Meteor Beam here over Stealth Rocks and just try and kill him on. Oh, and we're gonna Swords Dance. Hopefully this kills. Outstanding. Alright, so we're up 1-0. This is probably going to give Arch some flashbacks to their game against Lostlotl. Because Lostlotl has pioneered a movement of Power Herb Meteor Beam throughout the server. I'm actually the third person now to use this. Second to use it against Arch. I know Dracogon did it as well in another one of the games this week, so be sure to check out all of the games over on S Master's channel when the analysis of the week as a whole goes up, because that'll be up shortly. We do see Cloud Bleed, the shiny Yanmega, come in. That is a beautiful shiny sprite here on Showdown. Outstanding. And I think that for oh, apparently it's the third time that we've been gooped by Power Herb Meteor Beam. Well, I'm sorry that I am giving you flashbacks, but I think that if we see a Tera Ground, then we are just going to Flash Cannon here and try and take this out, because we are in fact sturdy, and they don't know that. So let's run a calc just to make sure. Or actually, no, I don't need to. I mean, if it does OHKO me, then it won't, because I'm sturdy, so I always just claim a kill here, right? No, okay, they protect first. That's okay, so they're gonna go ahead and get their speed boost. And now I can always Flash Cannon again. I'm pretty sure. There's no reason for me not to. Maybe I should have set up rocks that turn. I really want to get this big threat out of the way. And to be honest, I think that their team is probably going to be running mostly boots anyways. And so I'm guessing that's what's most likely going to be what happens here, and we're going to see a survival on their part, which is unfortunate here. Interesting. So the good news is this is in quick attack Cyclizar range, and so I'm just going to simply try and set up my rocks now, as they do end up KOing me. So that's too bad that we don't end up getting the rocks up, but we're just going to go into Cyclizar, and there's no reason for me to not quick attack here. I think that losing Cyclizar here is okay after revenging. I'm assuming they're gonna go like Slitherwing or Cleavor here. Yeah, looks like it's just gonna be Cleavor. I'm assuming that this is just gonna like click close combat or some shit like that. So should I just go for damage? Assuming that they are Scarf, or actually be good to find out if they're Scarf or not, I guess. So I can just go for a Crunch. It's going to be my most powerful move into this thing, I'm pretty sure. Does Temper Flare do more? It shouldn't, right? So yeah, let's just go ahead and go for that Crunch, and it is going to reveal that we are Scarf on the data bending, which means that they have no removal. So rocks would have been quite nice, but you know, it's okay. We'll just go ahead and quick attack now and get a little bit more chip on this guy. There we go. Alright, so rocks are gonna be up, which isn't exactly great for Gouging Fire. Hopefully Araquanid can be pushed through with Stone Edge, so hopefully we don't end up missing that, because I'm assuming that this game is going to come down to something like that. So we revealed that we're Scarfed into Stone Axe, so we can pretty safely go into Appleton and not Tera, I think. An even better play might actually be to go into Jackal and start dropping some rocks on these bugs' heads, as I think that we should end up killing this. There is a role for it to live by the looks of things. But it definitely won't be doing much damage to us, only 38 maximum, which is great, and hopefully they'll just try and keep this around for Gouging Fire. So let's just go ahead and go into Jackal and start clicking Rock Slide and hope that we connect. Really need Flygon to put in some work here and use those goggle-like things around its eyes and really hone in and try and hit some of these Rock Slides. Hopefully it works, man. This feels like such a luck game. I hate using these inconsistent rock moves. We see Araquanid come in, and that's going to take half, reveal leftovers. Okay, so what's the game plan here for Araquanid? What's the game plan here? Yanmega's dead, so Latios rather, is freed up significantly. Liquidation does huge damage. Oh my goodness. I can't even stay in right now, even though I'm neutral. It always astounds me how powerful Araquanid can be for being what's normally thought of as a very defensive Pokemon. But let's see. It looks like this is a pretty normal set for the Araquanid, so maybe max HP with some special defense or something like that. Maybe it's also like offensively invested, so hard to say for sure. If I go Fenrir, what happens, right? I'm a little bit worried about just giving this thing free webs, because Gouging Fire with those webs up is gonna freaking suck. It's gonna absolutely suck. So Flygon may actually end up being the win con here if we see webs. So that's unfortunate. And this thing's also gonna get some leftovers healing back. Aw, man. I think that I have to go for the kill here. I don't want to give it webs. And it's a pretty decent rule to kill. I'm gonna do it. Oh no, not quite enough. And that's gonna do a really nice chunk of damage to us. So that's a little bit unfortunate. We're gonna have to go for another one here though. Alright, and that is going to be that Pokemon out of the way. So this opens up the game a little bit for Gouging Fire. There's no webs on the field still. Jackal's a little bit lower than I'd like, so hopefully we don't see any Scarf Ribombees or something like that, as you never know. Do they not know that I'm Scarf? I want to stay in, to be honest. Does this thing get priority? I don't think it does. Let's go ahead and open up the team builder and find out together. Cleavor, let's see. What moves do we have? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't look like there's any... Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any priority here. I think that they just don't know that I'm Scarf. Yeah, I don't think I've revealed that I'm Scarf yet, I guess, in all fairness. We see Quick Attack. Quick Attack, and Vacuum Wave, that's it. I feel pretty safe to just click Rock Slide again and hope that I still don't miss, right? I'm just gonna go for it and see what they want to click here. They're not certain. Oh my god, it lived. Oh, that's not great. Oh, that's really not great. Oh, that's not good. Okay, so the good news is I can go into Gouging Fire now and click Dragon Dance because they are actually locked into X Scissor. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my free Dragon Dance here. I could have maybe also gone into Appleton, but that's alright. We see the Ribombee come out now. Is it worth clicking Bulwark by chance? I don't think it is. I'd like to just try and kill this thing if I can. So let's go ahead and Heat Crash. If there's Sash and Stun Spore, do I lose the game? Do I lose the game? I think I do lose the game if there's Stun Spore and Sash. But I feel like you go like offensive Ribombee here. I'd have to be Scarf or Specs or another boosting item or something like that. I don't think you're going to be anything interesting like Sash, Stun Spore. I don't think that that's going to happen. Let's see. Do we live if we're Okaberry? Let's find out together. Gouging Fire into Ribombee. I would imagine that we do more than enough damage, right? Yeah, I think that we still kill unless it's defensively invested enough to take one. So let's just go ahead and click Heat Crash here, and we are Sash. So what's going on now? We're Quiver Dance. Okay, we're Quiver Dance. And I still don't think that you're going to do anything too devastating to me. Right? You don't ever kill me, I'm pretty sure. I think I still live one. I think I still live one. And worst comes to worst, I can go into Appleton after this and Tera and hopefully live one and then recover back. And then try and do the funny shenanigans with my berry. I think, yeah, we eat. Okay, good, we eat. And we should outspeed both Cleavor and Slitherwing here, so we're in a really nice spot. Let's go ahead and see if Goyo can clean this up. If we go Slitherwing first, then I'm gonna assume it's first impression here. Cleavor, you have no priority, and we should outspeed you. We're gonna have another Heat Crash kill here for us. Good. And then now we're going to, if it bulks up, do we in fact lose the game? If it bulks up, it's not Scarf. Right? If it bulks up, it's not Scarf. And so then Latios should kill either way. So let's just go ahead and Bulwark now. Alright, we're gonna burn this thing. That's pretty huge. And we're just gonna go ahead and Heat Crash here. And that should seal us this game. Alright, GG's. Oh, that was stressful. Prepping for this was an absolute bitch. This was stressful, and I know that Autolith is a very good player, or rather Arch, I just read their name off the showdown. I know that they're a very good player, so, oh man, it was the most 50-50 matchup of all time. But yeah, GG's to Arch. They brought some very interesting sets here. I'm assuming that this Araquanid was designed to sort of deal with Gouging Fire, so I definitely gotta respect that. And I hope that in the future, nobody continues to bring Power or Meteor Beam into you. I'm so sorry I had to use that as well, but you know that lead Arch had to come out and really set the tone for the game. So with that being said, the Seattle Slashers are gonna pick up another win, putting us at 3-1 on the season now, and I will see you afterwards in the analysis. Alright, we did it, guys. We came out on top with a victory here over Arch. Gouging Fire did its thing. And so as I was saying with at the beginning about like, oh, we don't have any real Yanmega switch-ins, right? To be honest, they didn't really have any Gouging Fire switch-ins, and so it was really just a matter of who can get their Pokemon in position first and start sweeping the game towards the end. And I'm happy that even though the Stealth Rocks were up towards the end there, Gouging Fire was able to get in and click that Dragon Dance button and sweep the rest of the game. As I said, we would way back in the initial draft analysis on this season. I said something like, Dragon types are notorious for just clicking DD one time and then going ahead and winning the game from there, and I haven't managed to really pull it off this season up until now, and Gouging Fire just did that to absolutely excellent extent. So we'll go ahead and hop into the game here, go ahead and play this without sound, and we see a lead Lokix into Meteor Beam, which was outstanding. If they decided to go for knockoff here, which was something that happened in some mocks that I played, then obviously I would actually lose my Power Herb, and that's a really bad look, unfortunately, because Lokix can just Axe Kick me the next turn and take me out, which honestly really sucks. So I'm glad that they did not end up clicking the knockoff button here, but I knew that in this position my best play really was to just always go ahead and click that Meteor Beam button. There's a decent chance that they don't want to deal with me being stamina, and so they just switch out into something defensive, such as like that Archaludon or something like that. Or I guess they could even go into like Slitherwing to it. Maybe not Slitherwing. They'd probably just go out into Araquanid there. But Meteor Beam is definitely claiming a kill if they end up doing that. But yeah, I was happy that this sort of surprise set worked, and people keep singing to bring it against Arch, and so I'm sorry that I had to follow the trend, but there's a reason why it keeps getting brought, and that's because it absolutely works, as you just saw right here. And so Yanmega comes in, it's going to go ahead and get its speed boost, and then go ahead and Tera Ground. I'm not too sure what the Bug Buzz was really for. Perhaps it was covering for a switch into something like the Appleton, because obviously Appleton is going to resist that ground move, or even the Latios, which is obviously weak to Bug, although I did of course have my berry intact still, my Tonga berry, so I wouldn't die in one hit, but it was not really necessary to predict that, seeing as I'm a sack lead and I'm also sturdy. So if they did go ahead and just click the ground move into me, then I would have actually lived, which is outstanding. So yeah, really good call from Sirbloo to go with a sturdy Archaludon lead. If they did end up clicking that ground move, then I would have just gotten huge damage on this thing for absolutely free. And we obviously just go ahead and die here. Unfortunately, we don't get our rocks up, which isn't exactly ideal, but we can go ahead and click Quick Attack here and claim another kill. And so Cyclizar is going to eat one Stone Axe, and we're just going to go ahead and sack this guy. The reason why I'm okay with sacking this guy is because, like, if you look at the way that Ribombee and Araquanid are being played, you can imagine that these things are probably not going to be webs. Otherwise, they would have come out a little bit earlier to try and prioritize getting those up, I'm assuming. and so that's why I felt pretty okay about sacking this guy. But I was actually wrong in my logic. Once again, me and my opponent exchanged pace, as we always tend to do after the battle. And they did, in fact, have sticky webs on their team for that support. And so this actually ended up not being the best idea from me. Perhaps in this position, after they revealed Stone Axe and I lived one, then I could probably go out into maybe the Appleton or perhaps even the Latios maybe, and or no, definitely not the Latios, but maybe Appleton or Flygon here to just go ahead and stomach another one and keep the Cyclizar around, because I am Boots, so these rocks aren't going to kill me on switch in, and I can go ahead and remove webs if they ever come up for the Gouging Fire. This Gouging Fire hates those sticky webs, man, it really does. A little bit unfortunate here that our Rock Slide does not KO, but we end up connecting 3 in a row, and so that's going to be a little bit unlucky for my opponent. Sorry about that for hitting all those 90 accuracy moves. We're going to make it 4 in a row by the looks of things, as we hit the Cleavor as well, and again do not kill. And we're just going to go ahead and take this opportunity to start setting up here. Obviously if they did end up just clicking X Scissor into me, then obviously that wouldn't do too much damage. And we're just going to Dragon Dance one time. Even if they were not choiced and we go into and they go ahead and click Stone Axe into me, I had that Charty Berry on, and so I could definitely live one. And now Gouging Fire is just going to go ahead and clean up the rest of the game. Down goes Cleavor and in comes Slitherwing. I'm content to Bulwark here. 1, it breaks a potential sash, and 2, it also means that if they do end up like setting up here, that they're not going to be choice Scarf, and so I can safely just go Latios and outspeed and go for the kill that way with Luster Purge. And so I felt pretty okay about clicking Burning Bulwark in that position. Maybe it was a little bit unnecessary, I could just go for the Heat Crash, but again, if this thing was like Sash for whatever reason, then that would have not been so great for me, and I sack a differential point for no reason. So yeah, overall that game went a lot, I guess, smoother than expected. There were some unexpected survivals on their side, but I think that you know, when people are going to be building for mocks, they don't necessarily have the time to make like super duper optimized EV spreads, and so props to Arch for making some EV sets that definitely came in clutch with living some of those powerful moves. They ended up building a really, really threatening team. So with all that being said and done, thank you again for watching. It's going to be another win for the Seattle Slashers as we get put up to, I think, I haven't updated the document yet, I think we go up to 4th, maybe 5th, but yeah, it's a little bit top heavy right now, and so 3-1 is definitely where we wanted to be in terms of putting ourselves in a good position to hopefully secure playoffs in 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. So definitely gonna go ahead and try and do that. But that being said, that's gonna be it from me. Thank you for watching. GG's to Arch, and once again, go Seattle Slashers.